but don't wait too long.
When it comes to medical marijuana, there haven't been nearly enough studies actually testing its effectiveness. We talk about this all the time. That was also why it was a pretty big deal when the FDA approved a study at the University of Arizona looking at marijuana as a possible treatment for veterans with post-traumatic stress. But you know, this week, the professor who was launching that trial was let go by the university. Sue Sisley had been an associate professor in the College of Medicine for more than 7 years, and she thinks the move came down to politics. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Are you doing all right?
Yes, we sure are. We're going to persevere, believe me.
Jarring time for you?
Oh, it's so demoralizing because this is work that we've been fighting for over 4 years now, and the veterans have actually been standing shoulder to shoulder with us, pushing for this work to get implemented, and to have it cut off at the knees like this is so disheartening.
I want to talk specifically about the study because, as you know, this is something we report on a lot, but let me ask about what's going on right now with you and the university. They say, look, this is not out of the ordinary. We make these decisions all the time and not renew people's contracts. They wouldn't comment specifically on your case. Yeah. What do you, I mean, they don't seem to be thinking this is some big deal, though.
Well, the university took away my work without giving me any reason, not even a fair hearing. It wasn't an issue of job performance. That's clear from my evals. It was an issue of that I was at the forefront of some of the most controversial research at the University of Arizona, and it appears that the U of A may have buckled under the pressure of some very right-wing lawmakers in Arizona who have gone on record to say that they oppose marijuana research.
I want to point out again, we did talk to the university. They wouldn't comment specifically on you, but they did say in 2013 specifically, the university championed state legislation to ensure that universities could perform medical marijuana research on campus. They say they have not received political pressure to terminate any employee as has been suggested.
Well, it's clear that marijuana research that is FDA approved was always legal to do on campus. When you're doing federally regulated marijuana research, it supersedes state laws. So that's what we were urging the university to simply find us a home, but they refused, suggesting it was illegal and that they needed to run this bill through the legislature. So that served to delay the implementation of this research another 8-9 months because they had to, you know, navigate a bill through the legislature, and that succeeded in doing what they'd hoped, was to impede the progress of this research. They could never seem to embrace the optics of conducting marijuana research on their campus.
And just quickly to button that up, were you political at all in any way? Did you try and influence an election or any part of the career of any of these elected officials?
No, I was simply trying to educate the public about the need to eliminate all these unnecessary barriers to marijuana research. I was an outspoken advocate for conducting this work and trying to help our veterans. So that's been my sole focus over the last 4 years, is how do we help our vets that are coming back in droves with PTSD that is treatment resistant? How do we help these folks? And it seemed that we had had a mountain of anecdotal evidence suggesting that this plant, that many of our vets are using this plant successfully to manage their symptoms. Nobody's saying it's a cure, right, but it does seem to be effective for symptom control. And the notion that there's a potential that a plant could reduce the human suffering of these vets, and yet it's being forced to sit on the shelf, not being allowed to be tested rigorously, is an abomination. And I think we have a duty as physicians, as you know, as the general citizenry, to demand that this plant be put through the proper drug development process of the FDA, and that's all we've ever wanted.
You know, look, throughout history, right, there have been these constant conflicts between science and politics, and there's been times when it just hasn't been easy at all. Hopefully I come down on the side of science and facts and data, let the people be educated. I hope we get to that point.
Yep, I agree. I think we will. I have hope that I still love the University of Arizona. I will always be devoted to them, and I think this was just the decision of a few short-sighted, negligent administrators who don't see the value of this work.
There's a lot of fear out there still.
Yeah, there really is.
Appreciate you coming on the program. I know this is it's a challenging time for you, but hopefully this will help shine some light on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Are you ready to try? In a holy Mount Zion, you got to make your decisions. but don't wait too long.